Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with the free pick in the Florida versus Kentucky college basketball matchup on Saturday, January 6th, 2024. Of course, if you like all the free picks we do at Pickdawgz, you'll love our premium picks, our best bets. Use the discount code PICK to get 15% off. We also have the Dime Club and Sharp Trading Plays. These are meant for people who make big bets. If that's you, go ahead and text that number that you see on the screen. They're not available on the website. You got to text that number. But let's get to this one. Florida taking on Kentucky. SEC college basketball action as the SEC opens up conference play today. So what you see in this early time slot, all those great noon conference games, the Big East, the Big Ten, the ACC, all in action along with other conferences as well. And then at 12:30, the SEC gets into the act with this one, Florida, Kentucky, a battle that, maybe not last year or the year before, but in the last decade or so, this has been the battle in the SEC that pretty much has decided the SEC, and both these teams really no strangers to tournament success, but it's been a little while since either of these teams have been really successful in the NCAA tournament. I would have to say a little bit more pressure on Kentucky this year than there is on Florida. Florida's second year of their head coach's regime there as he came over from San Francisco. Meanwhile, Calipari has been at Kentucky for a while, and he's regarded as one of the great recruiters in the game, but what we haven't really seen from Calipari, at least in the last 5 years, this Kentucky team hasn't been able to get out of the first weekend of the NCAA tournament. The expectation is just a lot higher, for Kentucky. Their fan base travels well. They travel to these NCAA tournament games, and they turn these games into home games for themselves. And that is just the type of fan base that they have. They love their Cats. And I'll tell you what, if you like college basketball, you love that Kentucky when they're relevant. It makes college basketball better. They're one of the blue bloods. Kansas, Kentucky, right? North Carolina. These are Michigan State. These are the teams that these are the teams that make those David and Goliath stories when the little guys come up and rise up against them. These are the teams that make that great. But Kentucky 10-2 on the season, 8-2. 8-2 in their last 10. Florida 10-3 on the season, and pretty solid at home. And Kentucky has very much dominated this series in recent years. What we saw from Kentucky was really impressive win over North Carolina as a 1-point dog in that one, winning 87-83. But to me, the even more impressive win was the stomping of Miami at Rupp Arena, 95-73. And I think when we look at Florida, certainly they've had their moments this year, especially that win over Michigan, that overtime 106-101. But in general, Florida's played a lot lighter schedule than this, and when they've been called upon to step it up, they haven't necessarily been able to do so. And I think against Kentucky, I think they're going to have their problems because this year's Kentucky team, very, very talented, shoots the ball very well. I just think they're a much better team, shooting threes at 41.6%. That is off the chart, and I just don't think Florida's going to be able to handle it. I'm going to take Kentucky in this one, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, putting your bets in, use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. They're 100% free, and they'll help put you on the most favorable bets on the board today.